We have a story out of Madison, Wisconsin, and you've got a doctor who works at the University of Wisconsin, and they've got a daughter, and everyone's, hunkered down at home, and there's some social distancing rules in the house, and I think one of the parents is vulnerable, one of the compromised immune systems or something. So they're really practicing this, and apparently there's a problem with the kids, with the daughter and the boyfriend not practicing the social distancing. So apparently they're sent to an Airbnb, and then mom and dad end up dead, and the boyfriend of the daughter is under arrest. This is a really bizarre yet tragic case. Seema Iyer has more.
Let's go on the record then in the case of the state of Wisconsin versus Carrie Sanford.
18-year-old Kari Sanford, partially visible in this video conference, is one of two suspects charged in the execution-style killings of a Wisconsin couple. Dr. Beth Potter was a physician and faculty member at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Her husband, Robin Kari, a soccer coach and education consultant.
This was a brutal execution. The medical examiner here has indicated that both victims were shot in the head.
Passing joggers found them in the early morning hours of March 31st, left for dead in a ditch by the university's Arboretum. Kari Sanford was the boyfriend of the couple's adopted teenage daughter, Miriam Potter Kari. According to the police, the victims had moved the teens out of their home and into an Airbnb because the teenagers were not following coronavirus social distancing rules. After the bodies of her parents were found, Miriam told investigators that she and her boyfriend Kari were together at the Airbnb all night long. But traffic cameras show a vehicle similar to the white minivan her father loaned Miriam. It was spotted near the victim's home and the crime scene.
Mr. Sanford, if we could we have you just reply to indicate whether you can hear the proceedings? I see a thumbs up there, I think. Okay, great.
Kari Sanford and co-defendant Elijah LaRue were arrested a week after the killings.
The evidence tying Mr. Sanford to this crime is frankly overwhelming at this point. In addition to the probably the most incriminating piece of evidence, which was statements he made to a citizen witness identified in the criminal complaint that he in fact did shoot the folks involved and was concerned after hearing in the news that one of them was alive.
That witness is a high school classmate of Miriam and Sanford's. The witness told investigators he overheard Miriam tell Sanford that her parents were rich. The witness said the two discussed how they could get money.
There's evidence to suggest that someone in either him or closely associated with him was Googling Glock's 357 or Glock 31 357, which happens to be the exact caliber of weapon that was fired that killed the victims here. The evidence is just simply overwhelming. I had asked for $1 million cash bail to be set.
The defense pled with the court for less.
Mr. Sanford was in the middle of his senior year waiting for colleges to respond back to his applications. He was an active participant in the school. He was captain of the football team, and at $1 million is just too much, even with everything that the state has said in the complaint.
This case is one where he's alleged to be apparently a high school senior, very involved in a lot of pro-social activities and having those connections. He's also alleged to have kidnapped and murdered two people by shooting them in the head. In a criminal complaint, and he's alleged to have done that while already on a bail.
Sanford has an open case for theft of a vehicle for which he was about to enter a deferral program.
I just can't see that a cash bail at any amount less than what the state's requested would be appropriate.
Sanford and his co-defendant LaRue were each charged with 2 counts of first-degree intentional homicide. Bail was set at $1 million for each defendant.
All right, there are a lot of things that don't make sense here, obviously, like why? Let's bring in Seema Iyer. Seema, and I've heard the story that the parents, I mean, these are like the coolest parents of high school kids ever, anywhere, that are like getting an Airbnb for their daughter and her boyfriend.
Right.
Like, what parents do that?
None.
Right?
That we
so
know
how
of.
is that turned into motive?
Well,
it's not just, I guess, the social distancing that was the problem, because before school even shut down in that area, there is a witness, a classmate, a high school classmate that spoke to the police. This person seems to be a male. The initials are in the complaint. And this person overheard Miriam tell Sanford, hey, my parents have quote unquote bands of money and that they were rich. And so that's part of the motive. And I think it's really important that our viewers understand, Vinny, this killing wasn't just a brutal killing, but the judge called it a kidnapping because part of the evidence is the way the victims were found. The doctor, she was in her pajamas and socks, and the husband, he was just in his underwear. So it really seems that they were just taken out of the home and taken to this area and left for dead in a ditch. And they weren't found till the next morning.
Tell me about some more of the evidence in
Sure.
this case. And doesn't the daughter say, "Hey, listen, we were at our Airbnb all night"?
Oh yeah, they were watching Hangover 2, according to Miriam. But you saw the traffic camera that showed the vehicle that she said was with her. But then there's also these series of text messages during that time period. She says she is home with Sanford, and these go from 9:48 p.m. till 11:22 p.m. the night of the killing. That's March 30th. And the first one starts off actually with a missed call from Miriam to Sanford. If they're together, why is there that call? Now, Miriam then sends a text to someone with the initials SD saying he didn't pick up. And then around 11, she sends another text to Sanford, at least bring back the car and have someone get you from here. I don't feel safe here. That actually puts the car and Sanford together. Another text about 10 minutes later, why would you put me in this position? And then a series of texts, Vinny, to this SD person. I hear him, I think though. Like, I think he just pulled up, like with someone, but yes, it's him, but yes, it's him. And then at 11:22, and this is when we bring in the co-defendant, she says it's Huncho. And then she sends this text to SD, his friend got into a situation. I also just want to point out that same high school classmate, according to the criminal complaint, talked to police and connected the co-defendant LaRue with that nickname Huncho. So that's how you have that connection. And according to this high school classmate, Sanford told the classmate that Huncho was with him the night of March 30th.
The daughter, now,
Yeah.
if you're going out with a girl, right? Say a young kid's
Sure.
going out with a girl, and he's going to kill her parents. I don't think he's going to kill her parents without her knowledge, blessing, and perhaps it's her idea. Has she been charged for anything yet?
No, she has not been charged with anything. And Vinny, I did get a statement from the University of Wisconsin-Madison police. A spokesperson said that the investigation is ongoing. They would not rule out further arrests. However, according to, this is Mark Lovicott, he said that they do believe they have the two primary suspects directly responsible for these murders arrested, and they're not looking for any primary suspects. But I think the key words in those statements, I know you picked that up, is directly responsible for these murders. So they're talking about who actually pulled the trigger, for lack of a better term.
Right. And we've covered so many trials where the person who doesn't pull the trigger, but whose idea it is the one that's most responsible. So my guess
I hope it's
is
not this one, Vinny.
this investigation. Yeah, I hope it's not her idea, but let's see where the evidence takes us.
I hope they
Anyway,
arrest her, yeah.
Seema, thanks. Yeah, thanks so much, Seema.